A goal scorer in the greatest moments of needs, a maestro in midfield, and a leader on the pitch. The ability to drive forwards a ball and to control the pace of a game. This is Kevin De Bruyne, Manchester City's greatest ever. In 2015, De Bruyne played for Wolfsburg. He was a Chelsea reject and a flop of a player. Overrated, overhyped, and now gone to a mid-table club in Germany. But from the moment he first stepped onto the pitch for Wolfsburg, everyone knew he was special. And he truly proved it by winning them their first ever German Cup, then winning the German Super Cup for the first time too. He won the Footballer of the Year award, ahead of players like Lewandowski and Müller. And Manchester City had taken notice. Man City needed a younger, creative midfielder to liven up their attack. So in the summer of 2015, Man City bought De Bruyne. £60 million was the cost. Immediately, the English media was on it, calling him a flop and a Chelsea reject. But De Bruyne proved them all wrong in his first season. He scored 7 goals and provided 9 assists in the Premier League season. Not bad for a debut. However, 5 of those goals and 8 of his assists came in the first half of the season. It was a lucrative start, but with only 1 assist and 2 goals in the second half of the season, there was plenty to be desired. In other competitions, De Bruyne's story was much the same. He scored a goal in the first FA Cup game of the year, but missed the 4th and 5th round due to injury. And in the Carabao Cup, he scored 5 goals, making him the top scorer, but he was not in the final due to injury again. And while City won the trophy, with great involvement from De Bruyne, it left City fans with a mixed outlook at the end of the season. De Bruyne's versatility could not go missed. He played anywhere from the left side of midfield to the right wing position. He may have favoured an attacking midfielder role, but De Bruyne could play anywhere and still be world class. De Bruyne's 2 goals against PSG were crucial to reaching the semi-final in the Champions League, but his performances in the league were too often tied with his goal involvements. There were fans who could see De Bruyne's value outside of his goals, and fans who were uncertain about De Bruyne. The real turning point was the 16-17 season for De Bruyne. Enter Pep Guardiola, according to English media, a poor pick for a manager. And I hope by this point you will not trust the English media to open a jar of dirt safely. Pep Guardiola brought a new style of football to Manchester City and to the Premier League. The results in his first season were mixed, however. Although Manchester City didn't win any trophies, they showcased a new ability, leaving things late, flying from the 5th to 3rd position in the last 7 games of the season without suffering a single defeat. De Bruyne provided 20 assists in all competitions while playing in 6 different positions. He also scored a further 7 goals. De Bruyne was absent due to a hamstring injury for a short period of the season too. It seems like a minor injury at the time, but as we will learn, this hamstring injury never fully recovered, leaving it vulnerable in the future. Meanwhile, as the end of the season approached, Pep Guardiola was under heavy criticism. Man City went trophyless, and despite late good form, his tactics clearly didn't work. Pep wasn't the right man for City. Under Pep's guidance, De Bruyne reached a level he had never played at before, and one of the keys to this was consistency. Let De Bruyne play in a single position. De Bruyne plays where he wants to play. It was a big change for Man City. Pep gave De Bruyne complete freedom to play as he pleased. De Bruyne was special. Whilst everyone else was told to play in a certain way, De Bruyne was simply told to play. Of course, De Bruyne still had plans and instructions to follow, but he was certainly the freest player on the pitch for City. This was essential. De Bruyne was able to create fluently and drift into goal-scoring positions. In this way, De Bruyne found himself scoring 12 goals and 21 assists. This included important goals, such as the 1-0 win over Chelsea, his former club, and the goal against Arsenal to take the lead. A goal and assist over Southampton in a surprisingly tough 2-1 victory, and then assisting David Silva's late winner against West Ham. De Bruyne had proven himself not only as capable but also as a clutch player, and at the end of the season he became a centurion maker, playing a deep ball from his own half forward, assisting Jesus and becoming centurion. De Bruyne was now bathing in starlight. Next season would not go well for him though. In only his first appearance of the season, De Bruyne caught an injury and missed large parts of the season. When De Bruyne finally returned, he went off injured after only 2 games already. And when you thought he was back, after 3 games he was injured again. It was as if he was cursed. Across multiple periods of injury, De Bruyne struggled to make the same impact for City he usually does. His 3 assists against Tottenham might have been fine for a Champions League semi-final if Man City players knew how to defend, but alas, it was not to be. The end of the season was on a more positive note, however. Having won the Carabao Cup whilst playing decent minutes, and winning the league, being somewhat involved at the end of the season. The FA Cup is where De Bruyne could really prove his worth for the season, assisting to win it in the FA Cup semi-final against Brighton, and then scoring and assisting in the FA Cup final. De Bruyne had made an impact at last. The 1920 season was a tough one for Manchester City, suffering through a crisis of injuries. De Bruyne was one of the players looked upon to keep Man City straight, and so he did. With an astonishing 13 goals and 20 assists in the Premier League alone, De Bruyne was crucial in keeping Man City alive. And more crucially, with a goal and an assist at the Bernabeu, De Bruyne saw Man City past Madrid for their first time. They won't win the Champions League this year, but now City knew who to turn to when they faced Madrid in the future. And this earned him the PFA Player of the Year award. De Bruyne suffered through injuries again in the 2021 season, but they were not so bad as to stop him from having an impact. Assisting to win it in the Carabao Cup final, Man City completed 4 in a row in the League Cup. Now the sights were set on reclaiming the league title. De Bruyne was excellent in the first half of the season, getting Manchester City back to the first place after beating Crystal Palace, and then immediately falling out with injury. But Man City did not let De Bruyne down. They continued to win games without him, and when De Bruyne returned, he made an impact by assisting a winner against West Ham and scoring 2 goals against Southampton. After that point, Man City had won the league title in all but name. De Bruyne spent large parts of the remaining season on the bench, only coming on if he was really needed, as Pep was wary of sending De Bruyne into the fray again. His injury record in recent seasons wasn't a great one after all. Finally came the Champions League final against Chelsea. De Bruyne had scored 3 knockout goals already to get Man City to this point, but now he had to do it in the final. But after coming off injured, all De Bruyne could do was watch from the bench as his team lost the final. So close to a first, yet so far. In the 21-22 season, Manchester City found themselves strikerless, but it hardly mattered. Man City ran out of the Carabao Cup early, failing to claim a 5th title in a row, but there were other targets to reach. Man City and Liverpool fought valiantly for the league title, and De Bruyne delivered a crucial goal at Anfield to hold a draw, a beautiful goal from distance to win against Chelsea, and an unforgettable 4 goals against Wolves. City was leading the race narrowly. A draw against West Ham meant City needed a win against Aston Villa. They had put themselves in a difficult position, and it only became worse. After 70 minutes played, City was trailing 2 goals behind at the Etihad. De Bruyne was not ready to give up, however. He tied his boots and shouted at his teammates to get up, waving his hands and pushing his team forwards again. In the 75th minute, De Bruyne made a forward pass into Jesus that would eventually lead to a Sterling cross and Gundogan's header. 1-2 in the 76th minute. Was it still possible? Rodri equalized for Man City quickly after. 2-2, the title is on the line. Man City continued to put pressure on Aston Villa. They were looking for a winner. Late into the game, De Bruyne received the ball out wide and put a low-driven cross into the box for Gundogan to tap in. It was 3-2 and Man City were champions. Although the season wasn't entirely perfect, Pep Guardiola substituted De Bruyne off at the Bernabeu to rest him for the Premier League games ahead. Man City was winning the semi-final tie, but in an unbelievable fashion, Benzema guided Madrid back to a dramatic victory in extra time. It could have been the moment for Man City, another final, but it was again not to be. Haaland made his debut for Manchester City in the 22-23 season, coming over from Dortmund. He was a world-class striker, although the English media thought he would struggle.
Erling Haaland will not live up to the expectation. I am so bored.
Why won't he?
Because he isn't the player that everybody thinks he is. Will he score goals? Yes.
So how many goals is success?
We are
for
arguing
Erling
the same
Haaland?
thing. I'll tell you what,
We're
Rory,
not.
he's going to be the Golden Boot winner. He's going to prove you wrong.
Okay, I will
So how many
I will
goals?
take that bet.
How many goals is he going to score this season?
I think he'll do really well to score. If he scores 15, it would be a really good season for him.
I think the English government should remove freedom of press, because the amount of stupidity that comes out of English media should be criminal. Manchester City struggled early on in the Premier League season, falling 8 points behind a stunning Arsenal side. But if there was one thing Arsenal wasn't ready for, it was the second half of the season. In 4 games, Manchester City went from 8 points behind Arsenal to taking the lead. In this period, De Bruyne got 3 goals and 5 assists, most notably his 2 goals against Arsenal and his goal and assist against Liverpool to get Man City back into the game. Manchester City were suddenly back on top, and they will not give up their lead for a single moment from there. De Bruyne had been part of an excellent partnership with Erling Haaland, and now they left the title race for it. After a goal and 2 assists from De Bruyne in the FA Cup, Man City also saw themselves through to the final. At the same time, Man City was facing off against Real Madrid in the semi-final of the Champions League. Was it going to be the same as last year? Vinicius opened the scoring at the Bernabeu, making it 1-0. Man City fans could see the writing on the walls. But De Bruyne scored a stunning equaliser in the 67th minute, drawing level, taking the game to the Etihad. At the Etihad, dramas were cast aside. De Bruyne provided 2 assists and a 4-0 thrashing over Real Madrid. Suddenly, the treble was on. After collecting their 3rd Premier League trophy in a row, Man City went to beat Man United in the FA Cup final. 2 goals from Gundogan, both assisted by De Bruyne. Then the final came. Manchester City was dominating and De Bruyne was creating plenty of chances. It was only a matter of time until Man City scored. But then, De Bruyne went to the ground. His hamstring snapped. It was 2021 all over again. It was a turning point in the game, becoming a lot closer and difficult for Man City. There were points where the Internazionale came so close to taking the lead, but at last, salvation came.
Rodri!
Manchester City continued to hold on to their lead, winning the Champions League, winning the treble, and completing football for De Bruyne. Oh, hey, De Bruyne is back from injury now and injured, out until February. Fuck off. Kevin De Bruyne spent half of the 23-24 season on the sidelines. He could do little more than watch as Man City fell behind again in the title race. Then, while losing 2-1 to Newcastle, De Bruyne was brought on. It was a desperate situation for Man City. Every point counts. But so, in great battle, rise great men. De Bruyne marked his return with a goal from outside of the box. Man City drew level. But Man City needed a win. After a tight game, only a short period of stoppage time was given, way less than should have been given. Newcastle fans cheered when the time was announced, but were stunned to silence when De Bruyne chipped a ball in from 40 yards out and Oscar Bob finished extraordinarily. With that extra 2 minutes, they might have been able to fight back. The Newcastle fans weren't cheering now. The season continued successfully, and in a crucial game against Spurs, De Bruyne assisted Haaland for their first ever goal at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Manchester City went on to win 4 in a row. It had never been done before. Now it has been completed. A journey of Manchester City's greatest. Full stop. Kevin De Bruyne. Hello! Thank you for watching to the end of the video. Now, as you can see, my opinion on De Bruyne is he's Manchester City's greatest, and I do not believe that Man City is, or that De Bruyne is leaving Man City. That's not why I made this video. I just made this video because De Bruyne is getting old, and he's probably not leaving this summer, but he's leaving next summer at the very least, and I wanted to make a video about him because he will be gone at some point, and that's a bit sad. And I might make another video if he does finally decide to retire or leave next year, but that is then and this is now. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. Tell me down below what you think about De Bruyne, if you agree, disagree with De Bruyne being the best. Like, do you think Aguero is the best, David Silva, yada yada. For the older people in here, like, obviously, I didn't see Colin Bell. For the people who did, was Colin Bell bad? Tell me. And yeah, that's about it for me. Thank you for watching to the end. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content. Go check out some of my other content. I do a bunch of Man City content, and sometimes just general football content, but it's mostly Man City content and Club Brugge content. But yeah, thank you for watching to the end, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.